I will check if everything is working fine.
¿Qué te parecen mis gafas de corazón? Mis gafas de corazón.
Double
Muy bien.
check
Corazón.
Perfecto para el show.
Mis gafas de corazón.
Double
Muy bien.
check
Corazón.
Perfecto para.
Okay. I think it's working fine. Okay. Let me sit into my original position here, as I'm always saying. And okay, let me know if you can start. Let me know if you're down to start. Let me
Yes.
know.
We're ready.
Okay.
Totally ready.
So, welcome everyone to the very new episode of my Dev Life show. Today I'm joined with the creators of the game called Your House. They also worked on games like Pineapple and Unmemory, and also other very nice and very awesome games. First of all, I would like to say that I'm very thankful and very honored that you joined us for today's episode. And like I'm always saying, let's start with a little bit of introduction. So please introduce yourself for us.
Beatriz. We are two in the studio, Danny and me.
Okay.
He does the credit part, and I do more the production part.
Okay.
Our studio is has been for 7 years already, and we have launched 4 games.
Okay.
Well, next one, the 4th in 10 days to go. That is the one where we're talking today. Your House.
Nice.
And my name is Danny. I'm also a co-founder of Patrones Escondites, which is the name of our studio. It's a very small studio. We like to call ourselves storytelling explorers and game artisans, because our vision is to use the video games as a narrative vehicle, and all our games, try to tell a story. That's our focus. And we've been around for 7-8 years. It's just the two of us, and as we like to say, I kind of have like the crazy ideas, and those ideas are worthless until Beatriz gets her hands on them and makes them possible.
I see. Thank you for that introduction. I appreciate that. So my very first question would be, what was your very first contact with video games as a player, if you remember those times of your past? Of course, question goes to both of you.
The first game, well, or the first video game.
First video game, yes, that's correct.
Okay, the first video game. I would say, well, in my house, I remember my dad coming with Pong and put it on the TV. Later on, I remember I got like this Spectrum, the ZX Spectrum, 16-bit in Christmas as a present. I remember plugging it into the TV and say, okay, how do I play? And actually, I wasn't able to play. I thought, if you buy the Spectrum, you are going to be able to play. But no, that was not gonna happen. You needed to kind of like have like this cassette player, insert the cassette, connect it also to them, and put like load, and load the game. Yeah, but this, I guess, this from my dad was the first video game I ever played. Then later on, of course, with some friends, but then there's a Spectrum. I remember like very, very, very clear how I got my hands onto it, and I started to play this 16-bit game like Horus Goes King and that sort of games. Yes.
I see.
Beto.
For me, Pong was the first one that we, as Danny, because we are so young, as you can see. But my favorite one, it has, and it still is Pac-Man.
Nice.
I'm a retro girl.
Nice.
Love it. I can spend hours playing Pac-Man. Yeah.
Nice. From point of your life when you loved playing video games? What was the transition moment when you realized that, hey, I would also like to work on video games? So what was that light bulb moment for both of you where you realized that, hey, now I would like to work on these games, not just to play them? So what was that moment and how it
Danny's
happened?
fault. Danny's fault. Danny's fault. Danny's fault.
Well, that moment that moment came a little bit later. I mean, we don't have like a very long career in video games. We
see.
made our careers in other industries, more communication, advertising, project management.
I see.
But about 8 years ago, and well, but it wouldn't be fair to say that we were not involved in games, because we both worked in an advertising company where we tried to push like these fresh ideas to the clients, and many of those ideas were like you have to. I mean, we push brands to invest in making video games, advert games. Not only digital but also like physical. For example, I remember like this campaign where we did hide a treasure, a gold treasure for real in an island here in Spain.
Wow.
And people had to look for it
Wow.
using just like the print ads of the brand. It was kind of like a pirate rum drink.
Nice.
And people had to look for that treasure. So yeah, I mean, we've been into games like for many years, but the moment that I remember that saying, Beto, we need to found a studio and make this, was about 8 years ago, when we were kind of exploring, like the power of video games to tell stories.
I see.
And we were playing games like Her Story by Sam Barlow. We were playing Device 6 by Simogo. Gone Home, I remember also. What Remains of Edith Finch. There were, I don't know, some games that we had an impact on us, not because only the gameplay, but also because they were telling a story. It was not like only Pac-Man with mechanics or any other game like Ours Goes King or Pong. We found that there was like an opportunity to jump into this industry, and with the background we have on telling stories, use it or try to get involved into making video games so we could tell those stories.
I see. So this happened to both of you, right? So
yeah, I mean, well, it happened more as Beto was saying. It happened more to me, okay, but we've been partners like for many years. So I tried to convince her, and I did my job. It's okay. We have to. Because as I was saying at the very beginning, I might have ideas, but I need Beto to make them possible. So I explained to her, I think there's an opportunity, there's a chance here. We both like it. We both have fun doing these things. We like to create things, and that's how we jumped onto video games.
I see. Before that 8 or 7 years process of making games together, what was the causing effect that you haven't started before that or those years? Because you mentioned that you loved playing video games and you always had a big heart for creating things, right? So what was the causing effect that you haven't started earlier before these years?
Well, in my case, it was kind of like I was working in advertising, and I kind of got like burnout. I see. And so I decided to try to look a little bit on what I like, what I love, my passions, also my skills. And I thought, well, we've been always we've always worked more into digital and digital communication. So interaction for us was kind of like something pretty easy. So for us, just transition to video games was, okay, instead of having a brand paying for our projects, we're going to have a real audience paying for a project. We wanted to to test, to check if there is an audience there that are willing to pay for our ideas instead of a brand.
I see.
That was kind of like and in my case was because I had a burnout on the company I was working.
I see.
In my case, was Danny showed me Device 6, and that was like crazy. And he said, I like this format. We can tell stories in this way. Do you want to be with me in this path? And I love innovation. And I say, why not? And we were like our 40s. We're going to leave it there. And it was the moment in order to, a right moment to try, something that we like to do, as Danny said. So we quit our job and we started Patrones.
I see.
Our first game was on memory. It took 3 years to to develop, and the game liked it a lot. As Danny said, we had a nice reviews and people like fans behind that, and they wanted another game for the reason we made Your House. And then meanwhile, we have tried other games, but all of them are narrative.
I see. A more personal question would be from me, by the way. Were your family members, parents, and close friends supportive about this decision that you like jump into the video game industry? How do you feel about this? Like, did you have a supportive, mentally supportive background in your life when you started making video games? And if your answer is yes or no, do you think like it is important for you to have a supportive, mentally supportive background in your life when you make video games?
I don't think so. We started with a Kickstarter.
I see.
And 80% and 60% at the beginning was just our family and friends.
I see.
But yeah, we do have it, no, Danny? On my side, I have it, and you too.
Well, I remember telling my dad that I was going to do this, and he's always been supportive with whatever I've told him I wanted to do. Obviously, he said, "Well, maybe it's too risky if you just leave everything just to do this. Maybe you could, I don't know, transition more, But yes, he's always been very supportive on and that matter. And I believe, as you say, that is very important in your life. I mean, whenever you take decisions, that you have I don't know the people that are closer to you, that they support you. Because one thing that for this last 8 years we've been discussing together is how hard it is to be in an industry, in a creative industry, because you want to create something. You have it inside. You want to tell this story. You want to create this game, but you never know how is it going to do commercially wise. I mean, is maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. So I don't think Pablo Picasso was never like painting a picture thinking about how much money he was going to make with that. It was more like, I want to do this, but of course it's not in your hands, and it's difficult because maybe you launch one game and it doesn't make it. I don't know, it doesn't make much money, and then you make a second game, you make a third game. So you have to be like pretty sure that you want to dedicate yourself fully to this.
Sure.
Because it's sometimes you get to a conclusion with is I might do things like, well, they're well done, but actually you also need a little bit of luck to be in the right place at the right moment. So I don't know, that magic happens because I don't know. Recently, we've all heard the success of, for example, a game called Balatro, and now every publisher seems like to be looking for games like Balatro. Okay, but probably there are a lot, like or there's more than just one Balatro out there. but they're not easy to find. Maybe you have to prove the success of a game like Balatro for the publishers to get interested in that sort of games. But that's not something that is not on your hands. So working on a creative industry is something very risky. It's not about, it's like, I don't know, like having a pay job from a bank or,
Sure.
for example, in advertising, as I was, because I mean, you get paid at the end of the month. But yeah, when you're working on a creative industry, it's risky. You never know if you're gonna hit it or if not, or if you're not gonna hit it. So
True.
you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in the things you do. Have patience and I don't know. That's my feeling, I'd say.
I see. Throughout the process, by the way, of working on these games that you launched and working on your house, what was your favorite thing about the process of making video games together? Or favorite parts, if there are more parts of the process?
I love the part of at the very beginning where you have kind of like the idea is like all messy, it's blurred, and then it starts to, I don't know, to take form, and then you start designing it, and everything, all the pieces get together, like the puzzles, the story. You get kind of like everything in your head starts taking form. That's the part I enjoy the most. Then when then the rest for me is kind of like a pain, because like my job is more like creative director. I have to make sure that everyone understands what I have in my head. So, but the moment I have it like very very clear in my head, that's an awesome moment. That's when I say, wow, this is fantastic. I have it clear and I know what I want to do, and that's the moment I enjoy the most. I don't know, Beto.
I see. What about you?
I have this. I suffer literally with the times, the pipelines, to make all the team happy, because we are now working on remote, which is horrible. It's tough. Actually, I don't like it, because be with the people and talk to them, and and make have time with them.
I see.
Besides work, the connection. I like the connection. What I like from your house, it's like, I like the story. It's a woman's story. The art is amazing. The music is actually. I like all of our games. To tell you the truth, it's like, we don't have. I cannot complain with the games that we have done. Better if they're a hit. We're still waiting for that. I hope that your house is gonna be. But yeah, we actually with thought we are happy with all of them.
I see. But that's passion, right? Again, like I said, that's passion about your projects. You have to be passionate. Yeah. Yeah. You have spoken about your favorite.
And your house, especially
Oh
because.
no, go for that.
No, your house late. We're supposed to launch it last year in October. So it has been, a long process for this one. But I believe more polished. I've done the homework, the marketing,
I see.
with time, which is okay because we are auto publishing the game.
I see. So you have spoken about your favorite part and parts, but what about like the most challenging part for you in the process of making the games that you made so far, and also working on your house? Of course, question goes to both of you again.
Well, for me, I would definitely say that the hardest part is to make them to intertwine the puzzles and the story, because I mean, we want to tell a story, but we want to tell a story through a game. So it's important that and those two pieces, like to blend them together, to combine them, is not always easy, because you need to have a reason to put a puzzle in the game.
True,
You know?
true,
It's not like you have a game and then you put the puzzle, because
true.
when you do that, I think the player notices that okay, why is this here?
It's outside the
It
game, yeah.
doesn't. It's outside the game. It's outside the story. So I think for me, like, the more challenging, but also afterwards you feel like real good when you get those things like so perfectly blended, which is, I have the story and then I need to put the puzzles. To do that, I need to have like the story, at least the plot of the story, like very clear in my head, and then do and a lot of investigation. I play a lot of puzzles, or I collect puzzles, and then I have them, I don't know, all around, and then I pick, and maybe I have to modify some things, but to make them, of course, original. We don't. It's not just about copying puzzles, but you kind of like, I like this sort of puzzle. I like this, and this could fit here, and that's the more challenging part, I would say.
I see, I see. What about you?
Here's the romantic part. You have to understand that, Otto. For me, is getting the money to finish the project because it took so long. And like, that's my first challenge. And the second one, encourage the team to help us to finish the game with the resources that we had. Basically, we had
Hmm.
the hardest
There's
part.
there's also an interesting part that we haven't talked about. Maybe you have this. Maybe I'm answering a question that you had on your list, but um, we as a studio, we it's just the two of us, but the way we work is like we hire a team, okay, of developers, of art directors, of technical artists, of musicians, um, to help us on the development of a certain project, okay, and that team is not always the same. Okay, I mean, we try to pick the best talent for the project we have in our hands.
I see, I see.
And what's also challenging is, okay, it's not like the same team is going to make different games, which is, okay, we already know each other, we know how we work, we have like processes, like we all know about the processes, because it's more like a team that has been working for over the years, and you know each other, and how you like to work, how you don't like to work. That thing is also interesting, which is to form a team for that specific project, and it is challenging to always to put a team of talent together, and try to establish those processes, those work processes, so the deliverables, timing, everything flows.
I see, I see. Speaking of this topic, by the way, that you mentioned just now, do you believe in perfect synergy between team members, or is it something that develops out throughout the process of working together with each other?
Well, we try to. It's a good question.
Thank you.
But I don't think that there could be like a perfect synergy, but there's something that probably this is something that works out as you are in the project. What we can tell you is that we do not only look, when we hire talent, we do not only look at let's say skills or professional skills. We also take good care, and that Beto is a master on if this a good person to work with.
I see.
Are we going to have like that's a criteria that we also
that matters at the end of the day, right? Because you don't want to work with
totally
and very harsh or dickhead people.
And sometimes we prefer like having someone in the team which is I don't know, just positive, and I don't know, is kind, is motivated, although skill wise might not be like the best
help.
one.
Yeah, wants to help. likes the project as well.
I see. I see. I see.
Usually, all the team always, fall in love with the project.
True, true, true. And I guess they have to share the same vision, like you're right. It also matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And maybe that's more important than the skills that you have. Maybe you're not like the best developer or the best technical artist.
Yeah, because you can always
but,
evolve, right, for the future part of your life with your knowledge that
Totally.
you're talented in.
Totally.
Yeah.
But the passion you put into the project, if you have faith in the project, that I think is more, and that's going to make
True.
you better also.
True, true. And it also will make people stay, right, if they share the same vision and they have faith in the project and you guys as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking, by the way, of this
Yeah,
topic
okay.
again, how hard or easy was it for you guys to find the right people for your team and for your projects throughout those years that you worked on these games? Which was more common? Was it hard or was it easy to find the right people?
I would say
First-
that is not.
for the first.
Go ahead, Beto. You answer first.
No, I will say that the hardest was the first game
I see.
because we are not developers. So just to decide which engine we're going to use, it took us 4 months.
I see.
And then when we decided what engine, we have to find someone, to make it.
True.
In our surround community, friends, and that we weren't in digital, but in another language of development. So I believe Danny that the first one.
Yeah, I was going to say
now
that
we have a community.
Yeah, I would say that it's hard and easy. Is as Beto was saying, at the very beginning it's hard, but we also have kind of like skills, or we have kind of like, I would say more like habits, in order to know a lot of people. Like if you go to festivals, to shows, if you attend dev meetings, or and you get in contact with with more developers and more like-minded people, then at the end of the day, it's not that difficult. You have to take into account that we also come from industries like advertising, communications, cinema, where people are used to work by project, okay, and they get together and then they split. So they're kind of like, you always have kind of like this. Well, in the movies, the Rolodex, where appears all the contacts, and it's not that we keep it like with taking notes, but we are aware of how important it is to have a network of good people or good talent around you, and that's something that we like to foster. Something that we take care of, even now that I don't know, in between projects. You don't have to be producing anything, but we like to attend, as I was saying, festivals. We like to meet new people. We're open, somehow open to know people, because we know that's important to have a healthy network, or a profitable network, because you never know when you're going to need someone. So it's important always to take care of people.
True, very true. For your projects, what was the influence behind the story itself of your games, of your past games, and also about your house? If you can talk about that to certain games.
Our sources of inspiration.
How much time do you have?
I mean, I have time. I don't rush.
Because each game has a lot of influence.
Yeah,
I'm here. I'm open to listen. So.
Well, we have like a very wide variety of sources.
We can go in order. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, for example, in memory, on the game side, for example, we had like this Device 6, of course, also Black Bar.
Okay.
That is kind of like a very niche game, but that we enjoy very much. That a powerful impact on us. But also a book called The House of Leaves, which is kind of like more of an experimental book that also and obviously the film Memento by Christopher Nolan, because the story is about someone that has well, it's a free adaptation because at the end is a story of a gang of girls. It's not a person has lost his memory, but that's for a memory. For Pineapple, it's totally different. It's a Reddit post, or a 4chan. We don't know. We don't know exactly where that post was originally published. But yes, it was this post about a guy who's suffering bullying at school, and he decides to take revenge just by placing pineapples on very personal places of the bully. And then and when I don't know, you read this post, and well, in this case, I read this post like about 10 years ago, and then I kept it. And I don't know. Sometimes you're looking for ideas. You rescue this from a forgotten folder you have in your computer, and then you say, hey, maybe we could do something about this. And that case, for example, was
does that guy know, by the way, that the game is about his post?
Well, that guy, I mean, it was anonymous. So he posted as anonymous. So I mean, we couldn't pay him the rights to.
I see, but now he knows, right? So he will be proud of this story to tell.
That's something that we didn't hit at any moment. I mean, from the very front, say, okay, this is something that we read on.
I see.
And because obviously the story is not the same.
Of course,
it's but it is the inspiration is there, and that was because we were story about bullying and how how thin is the line that divides being a bully, being bullied. And that's like a very thin line, and we wanted to explore that. Also, because we had Beto, in this case, had a experience in school when she was younger, being bullied, and
I can relate to that. I got bullied too in school for a lot of these reasons, like not drinking alcohol, being a tennis player, playing video games, getting good grades. So I was getting bullied for a lot of reasons. Like it's stupid of people getting bullied or bully others. And
what we liked about this post, for example, is that it had humor in it. It was not like the typical message, paternalistic message, like you don't have to bully people. Bullying is wrong.
So it wasn't preaching.
Yeah, that's because we think, especially at certain ages, preaching does not work at all.
True.
I mean, it's the opposite. I mean, you don't want father tells you or the teacher. So
they feel like they are getting into the or they are getting cornered into like places by preachers.
So we wanted to approach. We like the approach of this Reddit post, and that's why we worked on transforming it into a video game.
I see.
For Your House, it's totally different. For Your House, we had like different. It was not just one source of inspiration. We had different. It was like this story. It appeared in 2008, if I don't remember wrong, on the New York Times. It was an article about this guy, this Wall Street broker, who hired an architect and paid him about $10 million just to decorate his new apartment in Central Park, in Manhattan. And after 1.5 years, the architect gave this guy the keys to the apartment, so he moved in with his wife and his 3 kids. And after I don't know, a 15-month period or something like that, they received a mysterious book. And in this book, there were stories, but also pictures of some objects and places in the apartment. And the text and the pictures, they were puzzles that they had to solve. So all the family got into kind of like this hide and seek or this escape room thing, where if they move like the mirror bathroom, and they push like this tile, this other tile, and this other tile, suddenly the wall would move and would open to a
Wow.
new room full of toys for the kids.
Okay.
And the house was full of these things, and
Wow.
this was kind of like, wow, we have to make something with this. Also, there was like the story of George Leonidas Leslie, which is like one of the most famous bank robbers in the 19th century. He was like a very famous architect. Okay, but one day in his life, we don't know why, but he realized that he was going to make more money robbing banks than designing them. And what we liked about this story is that this guy, because he was an architect, he knew how to design a bank.
Yeah.
And if you know how to
get
design a
in,
bank,
yeah.
you know how to hack a bank.
True.
And that was one story that
it's like
that
similar story to Breaking Bad's TV series, right? About the
Yeah.
chemistry teacher who knows how to make drugs, right? Because he's a professional chemistry teacher. Yeah.
And and some others. And for example, now we have another one in production that we plan to be launching at the end of this year.
Oh, okay, another game.
Which is based on a very famous comic called Here.
Okay.
By Richard Maguire. Well, you travel through time. There's this time traveling windows where you can know what happened in a place. So yeah, like comics, books, games, press articles. We get all sources of inspiration.
Love that. What about Delete After Reading? What was the inspiration behind that game?
On Delete After Reading, was something very special because after launching on Memory, what we had is a lot of people telling us, guys, this format is a must for kids. I mean, we're losing kids. Kids don't like to read anymore. I mean, they're more into video games.
True.
And this format could help them, and I don't know, have both. I mean, the fun of the video game, okay, but at the same time you have to read.
True.
So it was more something like, okay, why don't we try this? And there were different sources of inspiration. It was more. I remember a comic called Vampire that had a struck on us. We also the stories of I forgot the name. Coraline. Neil Gaiman.
Okay.
Had a lot of the different source of inspiration also took us to, but we wanted to make like a story for kids. I think that's the main goal for Delete After Reading was that.
I see. It's interesting that you mentioned this topic of like video games can be there for kids as well, because I always had the strong belief that video games should be used in schools in order to teach some morals, even like English language for the kids, right? Because it's the most common language used in every territory. And also for other stuff, right? Like how to cooperate with each other, for example, in multiplayer games. Like I still, like I said, have a strong belief in that, because games always helped kids grow, right? I remember myself learning English from video games, so it's like it's just one thing. And also like from many JRPGs, I learned so many moral things as well. Like I related to those stories about like the characters that they were in the game. So yeah, I can totally agree with you on that. Yeah. I believe, by the way, no, go for that. Sorry, go for that.
No, I was just going to add that, that's what we aim. What we aim is to tell a story through video games. So the best way to say, is this a project we want to get involved in, is, okay, is it going to tell something to the audience? I mean, what is the audience going to take out of this game? Is it like, as you said, like how to solve a moral problem?
True.
Because
like there's always a message, right, within this game, or the form of art, like in a video game. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No. Sorry. Me. Sorry. I was just asking that. So I believe speaking of this topic of influences and story influences behind the video games, I believe that all of us creators who create our own craft, they always tend to put our inner self into the craft make, right? So even if it's about experiencing loss, love, or anything positive or negative in our life, in our previous past years of our life, is this statement of mine true for both of you when you work on video games? And if your answer is yes, what examples could you name from your life that you put into your games? Of course, question goes to both of you again.
Yeah, well, in my case, I would my answer would be okay. Even if you don't want to talk about yourself, it's going to be inevitable. I mean,
Sure. You cannot avoid it.
Yeah, it's like because and on the other part, I would say that I do the like more like the writing part, and it's much easier to write about something that has happened to you or to someone close to you,
because it's more honest, right? And you don't have to like risk it not being you.
Yeah, to write about something that well, you know of, that to write something that you don't. But and I think before I just gave you an example, as Beatriz had suffered bullying.
Yeah,
so
about the bullying. Yeah.
That's why when we created the story, I mean, we were all the time discussing, okay, that's happened to you, how this resonates with you.
True.
Do you think it would fit? Another example would be like your house. Your house is a story about the price of chasing your dreams. How much are you willing, to put, or are you ready to risk in order to follow your dreams? Are you going to be able to, I don't know, to forget about your family? Are you going to be able to fake your own death? And those are things that are happening to us because at a certain moment, whenever you're making like video games, you this question arises. How much do I want to risk?
True.
Okay, to follow this dream of making video games. Okay, could we be working in another industry, on a paid job, or are we risking this because we believe in this? So at the end of the day, I think it's important to write about something you know of, and I think you always put something that is yours into everything that we do, even if it's cooking, even if it's talking, even if it's playing a game or creating, as you were saying. Beto, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Thank you, by the way, for your honesty about that. Thank you.
No, it is fine.
Sorry.
Has said everything that we have to say. Danny has said everything that we have to say about it.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. So, throughout the process of making games for so many years, how have you changed as a person in other territories of your own life? If there were any changes from being a game developer. Of course, question goes to both of you again.
Oof, I love the community of gamers.
Okay.
I love it. Yeah. We think it's like, that's my opinion. It's fresh, very smart people. People that I believe they're looking for a refuge in video games. And at the end, it's a strong community. So I've learned a lot about that. Danny, we always talk about when people have their kids and they say they are playing too many hours of video game, that it's weird, that they are worried, We always say to them, listen, we are being there for 7 years, and we can tell you there is a very nice and safe place for kids to be.
True.
No, Daniel?
Well, yeah, I think the gaming community is something that has changed because, I mean, we're not that young. We're not like, I would say, native video gamers. When we were born, the PlayStation didn't exist yet. No, I mean, we're talking to another generation. and and in my house, I remember that the problem my parents had is like I watched too much TV. While nowadays I think one of uh, mm, the most important worries a parent has is how much time my kid spends on playing video games.
True.
Um, but as Beto was saying, I think what we see is a place. I mean, it's full of nice people. I think interesting people, people that they uh, in other times they would be called like nerds, and nowadays these nerds are kind of like ruling, culture,
True.
culturally
True.
ruling,
True.
which is important. On a personal basis, what I say is that what has changed in my side is video games is like the thing is I you're creating something where you need the the other part. I mean, when you're writing a book, it's more like lineal. Or when you're doing a movie, think that okay, this is the story, and I put it there, but people are not going to interact with it. So what what I've learned through all these years is that it's so important to put yourselves in the audience shoes, and say, okay, what are they going to feel? When are they going to feel that? How I can push that feeling, or
See.
somehow stop that feeling from coming up. Um, that's something I learned on this years. Which, if I take it to personal life, probably is to put a little bit more of empathy on everything I do. On thinking more about, okay, what is the effect on the person I have in front of my actions. What do I expect from that person? That's what I would say.
I see. I see. I see. I see. Throughout the process of making, by the way, the games that you have made so far, was there anything that needed to be cut out from the game? And if your answer is yes, could you reuse those cutted out things or cut out things?
Beto is always cutting me. I mean, no, the
You
problem. I
can
mean,
tell that.
yeah, yeah, no. I remember, for example, like cutting off like a whole chapter on memory. I mean, this it was. I mean, we were running out of money.
I see.
We thought that, okay, why is it going to make it like a lot of better, like having one more chapter on memory, and having to realize that maybe not, because it is something that it's important as I was saying, to have like, what feeling do I have to do I want to get from the audience? For example, on Your House or on Memory, we believe that um, the player is going to find some puzzles, and those puzzles are challenging, and they have to be challenging enough, but not so hard that you get frustrated.
I see.
Even though I think we know that there's going to be kind of like some people that are going to drop out the game before they get to the end. Okay, that's something that happens to every game. But for example, in Pineapple, one decision that we took from the very beginning is we do not want, or we want to have the less people drop out of the game, because the end of the story is what makes it so special.
True.
So if you don't get till the end of the story, you're not going to get the message. So we want to maximize the number of people that get to the end, and that forces us to make the game like smaller, shorter, more to the point. And we had a lot of ideas. Thanks, but I was okay. It's not a matter of how hard you make it. It is a matter also of time. If how many people are going to play. So that's why we decided that this game shouldn't take you more than 1 hour to complete. Okay, because make it more like the idea of a movie, or kind of like an episode of a series, where you spend some time, you dedicate your time to that game, but for sure you don't want to be very long. So, for
Sure.
example, that is something that pushed us in the design of the game to make it shorter.
I see. I see. I see. I see. Speaking of the games that you worked on, how hard or easy it is for you to lift or leave the past project behind and to move on to another project, right? Because you mentioned that now that you're launching your house, you're also working on a new project, right? How hard or easy it is for both of you to leave the past project behind and start working on a new one? Or you always constantly think about your past projects as well while you're working on a new one?
We all have like a three at the same time. The hard thing is to decide which one we're going to develop. But ideas here is like easy to find with Annie. Always, ideas for making new games.
I see, I see, I see, I see.
And actually, we need to. You can launch one game and just know what is going to happen, and then think what is going to be the next one.
True.
At the end of when you're developing one, you must know what is your next step. If there is a hit, of course, it's going to be part 2. But if there is not, you need a new idea in our kind of game, of course.
I see, I see, I see.
Yeah, our games are not that are so long to produce. I mean, it's not like a AAA where you spend like 4 years. They're more like short-term games. So it's also interesting that in the vision we have is like not dedicate like too much time to any game. So we can have like to produce more and test more ideas and deliver more, and convey more messages.
I see. And how do you keep not being influenced behind or between the projects if you're working on more than one project? Since you mentioned that you were working on your house and also had an idea for another project, right? But how do you keep not being influenced from A project to B project and vice versa?
Well, one important thing is the way we organize, as we explained to you before. I mean, we don't have like this. We have like 3. For example, if last year we were producing 3 games at the same time, we were 3 different teams.
Oh, I see, I see. So it's different teams.
The only common people is Beto and myself.
I see, I see.
Okay, so but the games are different, and we also give freedom to talent. So because we want to have them on board, we them to believe in the project. So okay, we pick the people we want to work with, but we tell them once we have picked them, it's not something that we have to be like on top of their shoulders. It's like, okay, do whatever you want to do. So our part is more like supervise, manage, or somehow lead that team towards your goal. But they're not the same team. It's kind of like easy not to mix ideas and processes.
I see. As a fan, I'm a fan of physical editions and collector's editions of video games. Are you guys planning to release any physical format of your past video games or your future ones? Or any merchandise tied to your games? Because it could also be a very nice thing to have.
Well, we have to say that physical is something that we haven't explored yet.
I see.
Okay, like the physical edition we haven't explored yet, but maybe in the future is something that we should keep our minds on. Merchandising, that's something different. We've always believed in. We've always made T-shirts for all our video games, stickers for our video games.
I see.
Even pins.
Oh, okay.
And I even remember making for the launch of a memory as we went through this Kickstarter. We made a lot of things. I don't know, fake caviar cans. We made also this kind of like teddy bear with a balaclava. They were kind of crazy posters, many things. We do believe in merchandising.
I see. And what about releasing your games for other platforms? Do you have any plans for releasing your games for other platforms like PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch?
Well, one thing's for sure is that it depends on the game. For example, Pineapple, we're going to release it for Nintendo Switch,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
With Your House, something that we don't know if reading on a screen, on a TV screen, is something that is going to be a good experience. So far, for example, we have people reporting on playing Steam Deck, and they really enjoy it. So maybe like porting it also to Nintendo Switch could work. But for Xbox or PlayStation, we have our. Although we have to say that some people, well, we had the experience of some publishers approaching to us, telling us they want to port it to PlayStation and to, but I don't know. We have like still we have like this doubt if people are going to enjoy and experience the experience of reading on a screen like a TV. It's not the same as a PC monitor or a desktop screen. I think the TV screen is something more. I don't know. We have this doubt.
I see. What was the influence behind the decision that you haven't joined forces with the publisher yet? By the way, because to my best knowledge, you're self-publishing your games, right?
Well, we had the experience with Unmemory. The first experience, we did have a publisher, Plugin Digital. Things went well, relatively well, but we have throughout the years we've learned that our audience is not kind of like I'd say like a genre focused audience.
I see.
It's more like transversal. It's more like a very unique audience. It's people. We find people who plays our games that like video games, but I like. Okay, so it's not like. So also for publishers is also like difficult to publish our games because there's not like, okay, this is for RPG fans, or this is for I don't know. So for them it's also kind of like, so we have to kind of like get our audience or find an audience very different ponds, and that makes it difficult for a publisher. Of course, there are some publishers that we could fit with. Annapurna, for example, some the early Devolver, or obviously some others that. But at this point, we've learned that our audience is kind of like peculiar. Is a niche audience, and it's not that easy to reach it. So that's we. But obviously, we're always to work with a publisher because we believe that nowadays there's so many games out there that you might need the help of a publisher to market it better than you do. And things change so fast. I don't know, in the Steam platform, on the App Store, or on Google. And you need someone that could be an to help you, because marketing a game is hard, and every time is harder because of the many launches.
True.
Or the many games are being
released. You have to compete
nowadays
with other games even if you don't want to compete for people's attention. Yeah, very true. A very personal question from me would be to Beto here. If you don't mind me asking, of course. If you do, let me know. But I will tell you my question. So, have you forgive to the bullies that bullied you in school? You mentioned that it was the influence of Pineapple. Have you forgive to those people? I know it's a very personal question, so if you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. But I'm interested in that.
No, I'm okay now. Yeah, has been a long time ago. That passed up. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it was hard at that time, but now it's like, actually, Danny and we talked about that in the process of Pineapple. I believe that changed me because I had so much empathy with people.
I see.
So for me, it was a good,
relief,
That's
like we
good.
could say.
In that, yeah, right. Yeah, I could say that. Since that, I always think, where the other people is suffering or what I think, why they do that,
True,
It's
true,
not
true.
just my side.
True, true, true.
Always two sides.
I see, I see. Yeah, and I believe in that, so I agree. Thank you, by the way, for your honesty because of this topic. Thank you so much. Yeah. I also believe that people who bully others are suffering for them own problems. Yeah. Thank you, by the way. Thank you, by the way, for it.
That make you strong, no?
True. And it's also a decision whether to go forward in life, right? To go right or left. Whether you will be the same person as they were and bully others, and it's a domino effect, or you change for the better and you will stay strong and not let you push down by others.
People. Yeah. And you take care of the people, and that's it.
True, very true. Thank you, by the way, for your honesty with this topic. Thank you. So before I will go into some questions from the chat and then I will ask some more questions, is there anything that we left out from the topics of our discussion that you would like to talk about, even if you're about your game, your experience as a video game developer, or anything else?
No,
we're
really.
launching the March 27.
Promotion time. Nice.
Someone has to think about that.
True. It's close. It's 8 days, right? Or no, 9 days. Yeah,
8 days.
9 or 8 days. Yeah. Nice. Don't forget to wishlist, ladies and gentlemen, the game. Be on the lookout for that. Yeah, and there's also a demo, right? If I'm being correct about it, on Steam, you can try it out.
Yeah. On Steam, there is a demo. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, is there any question? Oh, there is. Okay, let me read back the chat. Okay, let me read back. Okay, so first question goes from Minnie. What do you guys think? How can AI change the words and also the video game industry? Is it going to change for the better or the worse?
Beto, that's your...
No, we have two opinions about that. Yesterday we had the same. Someone asked us about that. For me, I believe it's gonna be great for like demos, like the MVP, or a demo that you can test with people. You can show the publisher to or to find funding. Okay. And it's going to be a less cost and less time to do it.
True.
Because you can make music, images, and text actually with the AI.
True.
That's my opinion. So for the first part of the project of the video game, I believe it's going to be great. You can test with people. Before you need like 4 or 5 months to make a demo. Now it could be in less time.
True.
And less money, which is okay for the studio. And for Danny?
Well, I don't have like I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. What I can foresee is that AI is going to bring some democracy to the production of video games. I mean, everyone is going to be able to create a video game. Is what the other day I was listening to that said AI is going to bring democracy in democracy to distribution. So every one of us can every one of us can distribute a song or put anything on the internet, and the audience is like the whole world. Well, now I think with AI, even if you don't code, even if you don't know about creating images, AI is going to help you do that. Sure. So we're going to have a lot of people creating games, and what we think we have to think. I don't know. I'm not saying that they're going to be good games, but there are going to be a lot of games out there. So that has, at least on my side, what makes me think is of, okay, in that scenario, what is the best strategy, for example, for a studio like ours, or for any studio? And I would say that, first of all, you can have like your own style. You have to build your own style.
True.
So, but just to stand out from the rest. I mean, the people is not going to. You're not going to be surviving. You're not going to survive if you just make another game like another game. You have to have your own style. You have to be different. And you have to keep that own style. And the second thing is that obviously there's going to be I would say is going to rise the importance, or the role of the creator is going to be key for people to discover games, because there are going to be so many that maybe people like you, Otto, just the work you're doing, just discovering games to your audience. That role, I think, is going to be key, because there are going to be so many that we're going to have to rely on people, to rely on creators to tell us, okay, take a look at this, take a look at that. And creators, probably they're going to have to specialize themselves in certain styles at the same time. It's not going to be able, like, okay, I can create all sort of games. Maybe, I don't know, like in music, you're gonna have to be creating music like jazz or pop or hard rock or rap, or So I think this is what I foresee that could be the impact of AI on video games, besides what production-wise, as Beta was saying.
True. Yeah, and I strongly believe in what you said, is that like all developers and publishers will have to rely on these media outlets or content creators, because I feel like nowadays, even that a lot of like people are trying to push indie games, there are so many indie games that a lot of people cannot be that open-minded about. Like, for example, I'm open-minded about all games and trying to like consume all the games and play and promote and show to my community and to the people, but a lot of people are not that open-minded. And it's sad, because at the end of the day, like I said it before our interview, that media outlets are paid to promote and paid to talk about video games, although they do not do their job right? Because they only talk about AAA games or the most famous indie games, which is weird, because there are so many great games like yours as well out there on the market, but they should be promoted by these media outlets because they are getting paid for that, to do that, right? So it's like, but they are not doing that. So it's weird. It's weird for me, this whole economic system where like people are getting paid for like promoting and showing games to the people, but they still like choosing. They play this pick and choose puzzle game in their life, right? Hey, I love this. Yeah, it's okay to love something and promote it, but you still have a job to like search for games and do your job. So it's weird. It's weird. And like I said, it's going from the story of me reading so many magazines back in my childhood, and all the magazines sorry, my voice is cutting out. So all the magazines is like they had all the games in there. I remember like reading about Destroy All Humans, which wasn't like that popular here in Europe, and it was a very popular game in the US, but like that magazine here in Hungary, like the PlayStation magazine, covered that game, and that's how I got to know, and it got one of my favorite games of all time because of that cover, right? And I realized that hey, it's a game, it's there, like, and I feel like more official media outlets should really join forces and to like really handle indie games as well, because like you mentioned, it's true that there's so many new games coming out, like 100 or 200 or 1,000 games per I don't know, some months. It's crazy, and you have to like dig deep if you want to know all the games. Like, yeah, it's very true. It's very true. Thank you, by the way, for the question and the answer as well. Thank you. Thank you. There's also another question from Minnie. Let me read it. What do you think about? Do you think like? No, let me rephrase the question because it's in Hungarian. So, how much knowledge will society need if there will be AI and robots in the future? How much human knowledge will people or society need in the future?
Well, that's a very tough question.
I'm not
I
prepared
don't
for
know.
that.
No, me neither. Me neither. No,
I'm
no, no, no,
not
no.
AI, I'm
No,
not
but
AI voicer at all.
but the other day I don't know if this is going to answer the question, but something that I left recently, and I feel I have to share is like the other day I was reading this comic, this graphic novel by Oliver Schrauen.
Okay.
It's called Sunday, and this is a comic about a wasted Sunday. Okay, it is 420 pages long,
Okay.
and it only tells the story of someone that does nothing along one Sunday in his a wasted Sunday. The author explains at the very beginning how he um, followed his cousin for several weekends and picked one as this Sunday, and he decided to make a graphic novel. The output is incredible because how the way he arranges like the ads and everything, but also the story here is nowadays where we have like I don't know, we're multitasking, we're always I don't know, something to do, our attention is always. His idea was, okay, if I want to criticize this, the way I'm going to do it is making this graphic novel about a wasted Sunday, about a day where this guy does nothing at all. And it is very important to tell the story in 420 pages. And believe me, the story is compelling. You want to keep reading about someone that does nothing in a whole day. Okay, my take on this is while I was reading it, I was thinking, could an AI come with this story, with this new story? Or this is just something for a human to create? I could say that AI could take this story and another story and another story and make a mix of it.
Sure.
But make this, I mean, tell the story of someone that does nothing during a Sunday to criticize the way, or not to criticize, but to make the point that nowadays we're all like we all have an attention deficit, and we're always doing something, and that we have to.
Sure.
For me, it was like, wow, it's nothing about AI, but I thought, I don't think an AI could have done this comic,
Sure.
and that made me feel safe.
True. Yeah, because it's a feeling that the creator is trying to push towards the readers, right, within its comics. So it's like it's a feeling how he's reacting to it. I will have to read that novel, by the way, or that comic. By the way, speaking of the topics of comic that you mentioned a lot of times throughout our interview, I was interested about asking you this. Are you planning to write comics as well? Because you're making video games, but were you into like making comics as well? Because I can tell that you're passionate about reading comics. Are you planning to write comics as well?
I would love to.
Okay.
That's a dream I have.
I could
Maybe in
tell.
the
I could tell.
future.
Like you were speaking about it so much that I could tell that it's a dream of yours. Okay. And what made you not make the first step in order to write comics still?
Well, I think it was the idea that maybe comics as books. I think it is a technology that I enjoy very much,
I see.
but I don't think it's a technology that has evolved that much. So
It's true.
I think I'm more interested in how.
Your voice is cutting out. Your voice is cutting out, sir.
Yeah, I would say that when I don't think if I will be writing comics, but what I would like to explore is how to I don't know, to make like an enhanced comic, like a super comic, like the new version of comic, like where you could have like a more media involved. That's something I'm interested in how would comics evolve in order to that's somehow
Okay.
that's what we did with your house, and that's what I would like to explore with.
Nice. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Thank you, by the way, for the question again and the answer. Is there any other questions from the chat? I will also link your house's Steam page real quick so people can wishlist it. Let me do that. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Any more questions, ladies and gentlemen? Any more questions? Bármilyen más kérdés? Any more questions? Any more questions? Bármilyen kérdés? Don't forget to try out the demo of your house, ladies and gentlemen, and wishlist the game. By the way, are you guys planning to keep the demo after launch or not, or no?
It's something that we still have to discuss, but I believe might be a good idea, because the game itself is hard to explain. We always like to use the sentence as it is a game you can read or a book you can play, but definitely that's something that it's better experience than explain. So we might live it there. On mobile, for example, we're gonna give the first chapter for free, and if you wanna have like the rest of the game, you have to purchase it. But the first chapter is going to be free. So maybe we do the same on Steam.
Mobile.
Sorry.
No, I was saying that this is just for mobile.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But on Steam, maybe what we do is just to replicate this strategy. Is just like to leave the first chapter as a demo.
I see. What do you think could be the ultimate message that you always wanted to give to the players with your games? Because like you said, and I also believe in the statement that you mentioned, that there is always a style of the creators that he's using in order to push messages with the craft that he or she is making, right? So what was or what is the message that you always wanted to give to the players with the games? Even if it's like a different message for each game, but what kind of messages that you always wanted to give to the players with your craft, with your games, or with the forms of art that you make?
I wouldn't say like I'm interested in giving just one message. I think is more on it depends. I think to select the message, I think at least on my side, what I do is if we deliver this message, is that going to make the world a better place? Is that going to make and that doesn't mean that it has to be like good. Maybe sometimes it's just because the message makes you think.
True.
And I think, and I believe that I don't know, bringing doubts to someone about any theme it's important, because sometimes we don't have the time to think about things, and that might be interesting. But I would say that the ultimate message is we want to make. You want to make an impact in the world. You want to create something and create culture and not imposing like a message or saying what's right or wrong, but just I think I would say is making people think. I think that's what I would say is like the ultimate thing we want to deliver.
I see.
But not thinking as one thing that we fight upon is that sometimes I think video games as an industry is seen as very superficial, as this is your kids having fun, spending time and wasting time, because they're.
Your voice is cutting out.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
What I'm saying is that one of the things that somehow, at least it happens to me, is that video games are seen as superficial media, like okay, like it's just there to have fun and entertain, and most other industries, for example, I mean, you can see this in newspapers. they have like film critics, they have music critics, but they don't have like this many video game critics, and it is because I think still on our culture, we believe that video games are like a nice way to spend time or waste time, but there's not. It is not seen as a media or as a vehicle to tell important messages, and that's one thing that we like to fight upon. So it's not about making people think, but making people think in a fun way. I mean, while they're having fun, which I think is more interesting. Is if there's so many information out there, if there's so many people trying to grab your attention, I think it's very interesting to explore how you grab those people's attention by making them have fun and at the same time, okay, delivering an important message or a message that can have an impact in their lives.
True, very true. A closing question. No.
Sorry, I extended myself.
No. I love that. I appreciate that you talk with honesty and talk about everything that you feel like. So my closing question would be, from all those years of experiences in your bag as a video game developer, what would be your advice for others who start their career in the video game industry or who are already like have been there but are making games?
I'll start and I'll let Beto close. Okay. In my first of all, I'm not a very huge fan of giving
advices
to people because I believe I'm still learning. Okay, I'm 51 and I'm still learning and I'm still having fails every day and mistakes. So, but from my experience, if I would say, if I started a video game studio, would be like to try to be very good at one thing. That could be a style, that could be a mechanic, that could be have a very clear vision of what, stick to it, and keep on doing in that. Try to differentiate yourself from the rest. Beto.
I will say, if you have an idea to make a video game, you should first make a demo and test with friends and people before you go ahead and and find the money and spend 2-3 years doing a video game, and maybe it doesn't have an audience behind. I know it's easy to say, but we have seen so many studios that they choose the project that they have been doing during their career, under the university, because they're emotionally attached to them, but they don't know if it does, make sense in a commercial way to produce.
I see.
So if you have a demo, you can show to publishers, you can show to people. If you have a bad reviews, you should think about it. I don't saying that you have to say no. It's everyone says that I cannot do this. I'm not doing it because I always have this example that GFK, the Harry Potter writer, that she was,
True.
no one trusts in her story, but it's a good advice, at least to try, the demo with other people and wait for their feedback.
I see.
Actually, you can improve your idea. Actually,
true.
That would be my advice.
True. Very true. Okay. An additional question that I forget, by the way, to ask is that you talked about there is another project that you're working on, not just your house. When people can hear about that project in the future, since you mentioned that it's this year that you're probably launching that game as well, right? If I was being correct and I understood it correctly, right?
I believe that we're going to start talking about it at the end of this year.
Okay.
We should launch it next year.
Oh, it's next year. Okay. Sorry, I misunderstood it. Okay, so it's next year. I see.
Yeah, because you have to focus on your house now,
I see. I see.
even after the launch.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for everything that we have spoken about here in this episode of my Dev Live show. And thank you, by the way,
Oh,
for
thanks to you, Otto.
thank you so much. And thank you
Thank you.
everyone for being here with us and for the questions. Thank you so much. Like I said, I will need some more of your minutes of stream. And don't forget to wishlist the game, right? With big heart here from our developers here. With big heart. Nice. Thank you. And thank you so much, everyone, for being
Thank
here
you,
with us on
Otto.
this episode. Thank you so much, also, developers here that joined us for our episode of my
Thank you
Dev
for
Live
giving
show.
us the chance to talk to your audience
Thank you so
and
much.
talk about our project.
Thank you so much. So yeah, like I said, I will need some more of your minutes of stream. But for those who are with us here, watching us live, or will be watching back the VOD version on Twitch or on YouTube, thank you so much for being here with us. Don't forget to wishlist your house and have a great day or night, depending where you live. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.